He's a published author of Afrikaans poetry. He's also a former MK soldier trained in East Germany.
It's a bit weird, an MK soldier becoming an Afrikaans author.
Well, I was that before I was MK. I published poetry in Afrikaans when I was 16.
Mathews Phosa is the
Now,
Treasurer General.
this former ANC Treasurer General, who raised well over 250 million rand for the ANC under Jacob Zuma, has written his political memoir.
Mathews Phosa calls his book Witness to Power, but he was much more than that. Since '94, he was present and influencing South Africa's defining political moments. Why didn't you go into your running of the ANC a bit more in the book?
Because there will be a place for that.
It's more controversial.
I've got my agenda. You'll be there, God willing, and you will interview me again. But there'll be a place
What is your agenda, Mr. Phosa?
My agenda is to tell the truth.
In incremental bits?
No, the way I want to.
Well, I think that you're still very close to people who wield power.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Extremely close. Extremely close.
He's had a close relationship with every president since 1994. But in 2001, Phosa became one of 3 ANC veterans accused by then-President Thabo Mbeki of a plot to topple him. 6 years later, Phosa tabled a motion to remove Mbeki.
What did you think of the government he built after the Mandela presidency?
Mbeki,
Yes.
he did very well. The economy grew that time. When he was president, there was confidence.
And yet you were instrumental in removing him from government.
Well, politics move like a river. Yeah, the water flows. You know, you remember him and Steve Tshwete accused me, 𝗀𝗃𝗿𝗆, and Cyril Ramaphosa was the president today, of plotting to overthrow him. A thing unimaginable. I mean, he made one mistake, Mbeki, with all the good things he did.
He took you on.
No, not only me, he took everyone on. He started to do what Machiavelli calls lopping off the top. You know, he saw enemies where there were no enemies.
Phosa writes, there was no winner at Polokwane. The ANC was the biggest loser. It lost its unity, cohesion, and moral high ground. And the deep wounds opened at that conference are still hemorrhaging. In 2009, Jacob Zuma was inaugurated as president of the country. In this interview from the Carte Blanche archive, Phosa's support was unequivocal.
Jacob Zuma is a very nice uncle. He's a very simple man who appeals to all of us because of the simplicity, the accessibility. And he doesn't pretend to be what he's not.
What did you anticipate from the Zuma government?
Well, you know, we thought Zuma will run the country in terms of the constitution and follow the rule of law. We thought so.
So help me God.
When it comes to Zuma, Phosa feels a mix of regret and betrayal. Regret that he didn't spot Zuma's ways earlier, and betrayal because the man who recruited him into the ANC ended up breaking away from the party and starting umKhonto weSizwe, which is decimating the ANC support. You trained in East Germany?
Yes.
I ask that to ask what your opinion is of the formation of the MK party then, since you are yourself a real MK soldier.
Well, the person who launched the party was a former president of the ANC and of South Africa. He condemned anyone who would have betrayed the ANC. He's come to walk on his own ways. So he broke his own oath in the ANC.
As ANC treasurer, raising funds was Phosa's job. It wasn't long, he writes, before Jacob Zuma took him to meet his friends and the family allegedly at the center of state capture, the Guptas.
He introduced me to them. I didn't know who they were. I never heard of them myself. And I drove behind him until we reached this big gates there. So we discussed money in that house. I said, my job, guys, is to raise funds for the ANC. No other job except that one.
And they gave you money?
No.
The ANC?
No, they never gave me a cent.
They gave the ANC money?
I don't know. They say so.
But you were the treasurer.
No, but they didn't give it to me. They didn't give it to the ANC. I don't have to receive 1 cent from Guptas for the ANC. Never.
But he does recount bumping into one of the Gupta brothers, Tony, at a Durban hotel where he asked when he could expect their contribution. Gupta said they gave Zuma 20 million rand.
Why didn't you raise your hand against the Guptas in the ANC meetings early on?
I did, and they hated me. I was an enemy to them that time, because I was not doing what their biddings.
As a post-liberation party, the ANC had friendships with countries that were often considered disreputable by the West. Libyan autocrat Muammar Gaddafi was one such character.
For years, the ANC denied that it received money from Muammar Gaddafi. But now, Phosa has confirmed he went to Libya to fetch it. And more than that, Phosa says he opened channels for funding for the ANC throughout the Middle East.
The whole Middle East give me money. I opened a chapter with the Arab world, which did not exist in funding the ANC.
You opened that chapter?
Yes, I did. Much more deeper than you can imagine. And then they supported me. I got supporters from UAE, all over.
Phosa shied away from naming which Middle Eastern countries continue to fund the ANC.
I'm not going to disclose them, the number of them, but they're still helping us, some of them.
Are they still helping you? Because I'm trying to recall whether I've seen any disclosures of political party funding from Middle Eastern countries.
I can tell you, that bill was started by me as treasurer. The need to say what is it that we get it from who. I originated that law.
It's such an important piece of legislation, one of the most progressive in recent times.
Thank you very much. And therefore, it brings discipline.
It perplexes me to why you wouldn't want to say now then.
No. I talk about the law as it was. Let's be fair to me.
Just 2 years before his assassination, Gaddafi made a substantial contribution to the ANC's 2009.
Get from Gaddafi?
I'm not going to disclose that.
You can estimate.
No, I'll die with that secret in my coffin.
Another unsolved mystery is that of the mysterious Libyan billions, a plane full of money and gold rumored to have been sent to South Africa shortly after Gaddafi's death.
I had the story. I don't know where the bill. It's like King Solomon's mines.
Phosa recalls how both the Libyans and the CIA visited the ANC looking for the loot.
It's much more than a story, Mr. Phosa.
I don't know.
Didn't you meet with the CIA over it?
Me having been a treasurer, they asked me. I said, I don't know anything.
Did you track the money?
I couldn't. What I did, I'll tell you. But there was an allegation the money was in 𝗀𝗏 Bank, right? I knew the governor of the Reserve Bank in Swaziland. I phoned him. He said, we don't know anything about Gaddafi's money. We know nothing. So what do I do when the governor of a government says he knows nothing?
By 2016, the press was filled with allegations of corruption and state capture that implicated the president. Phosa could no longer ignore them.
When did your opinion of Jacob Zuma as the head of state change?
The 𝗀𝗀𝗃 thing broke the camel's back. I mean, the state money was taken and used to build, and it was wrong because he has a state house.
The president's failure to comply with
the Constitutional Court had found that Zuma had failed to defend, uphold, and respect the Constitution when using state funds on his sprawling 𝗀𝗀𝗃 homestead.
At that point, you would have, with hindsight, looked at how you had been close to him over years and supported him. Did you regret that?
Oh, I do. Because when the people show their true colors, you say, but why did I support this guy?
Phosa called for Zuma to step down. Zuma iced him out.
You said that you didn't speak to the former president for 5 years?
Or maybe more.
But unexpectedly, the night before the ANC was going to remove President Zuma from office, Phosa received a call. It was one of the president's bodyguards.
Call came and I'm in my pajamas. I'm going to sleep. Now the call comes. He says you must come to Mpumalanga. I've not been there for so many years. I must drive there at night. Oh my God, what is going on here? And I thought, you know what, Matthew, you're a soldier, you stand up.
Phosa is a lawyer, and the president broke the years of silence to ask him for legal advice.
And I said to him, Mr. President, I use the word you don't normally use to a man. I love you, but I think you must step down.
In February 2018, Cyril Ramaphosa was first inaugurated as president. In 2024, Zuma exacted his revenge. Phosa writes that the formation of the MK party was a deliberate, calculated move by Zuma to get back at the man who succeeded him.
The MK was a big bomb on us.
What do you think MK will do to the future of the ANC?
I think MK will continue to hemorrhage the ANC. And, you know, President Zuma is very good at playing victim. He's a master. And now he's beyond that. He's become the Ayatollah of MK, you know, if I may use the word. But the reality now is that MK is going to irritate all the political parties, especially the ANC.
The MK party captured a chunk of the ANC support, forcing Ramaphosa into a government of national unity.
What do you think of his political leadership?
Well, I think he's having challenges, which he can't overcome easily.
You think he's a good ANC president?
I think he's too indecisive.
Phosa rejects the idea that he's trying to whitewash his legacy and says he's written this memoir to fill in the spaces of history.
It seems like you're still shifting power or influencing it behind the scenes. Not just the silent witness.
I'm not immobile in politics. I'm very mobile. But I don't intervene where I don't have to intervene.
You think you'll ever go back to national politics?
I don't know. Time will tell.
As Phosa likes to say, politics is the art of the possible.